Hey, so I've gotten a lot of really good feedback on some of the Chrome DevTools videos that I've done. So I think I'm going to take a series now and do a deeper dive into each tool, each tab of the developer tools, and show kind of all this stuff they can do. So let's get it started off by, I'm just on nodecast.io. All the things in this video will work with any site. Just kind of needed a site to start demonstrating on. So you can open the developer tools by either right-clicking on the page and going to inspect, or you can use some combination. I use Command Option I, and Command Option I will open up the developer tools. I think that there are a few keyboard shortcuts to open them up in different panels, but Command Option I is the one that I use the most often. Cool, so that opens us up into this Elements panel here. I'm going to drag these down a little bit. For those that are unfamiliar, the Elements panel it's kind of the bread and butter of the DOM. So basically what it does is, your website serves down all this HTML. So if we right click and we go to view page source, you can see what comes down, from a network request. It's like all this minified HTML and JavaScript and stuff like that. And so what the Elements tab does is it takes all that and it interprets it into kind of a visualization of the document object model. So I think this is actually really cool. One of the biggest things that DevTools gives you, one of the biggest helps, is that in visualizing what HTML looks like as an interactive DOM, not just a big blob of text. So yeah, basically there's like kind of all the things you'd expect from an editor, but built in over here. So we've got the left side is the HTML, and then the right side is going to be all the styles applied to that HTML. So you can click on something like this div class container fluid, and then over here I can see all the things that apply to it. Couple of little DevTools things really quick. Sometimes it's best if you click over here to this little three dots, you can customize how the DevTools are docked. So depending on what you're working on, sometimes I really enjoy docking them to the side. And sometimes I even pop them out all the way, especially if I have like two different monitors going. I can keep the DevTools on one, and then you can always command tilde over to the page itself. Another thing worth noting is that as you highlight things in the DOM over here, they will highlight blue in the background on the website. So you can see as I move down, you can see different things highlighting blue. Similarly, you can use this arrow over here to go the other way. So you can find an element like, let's see, maybe this video, and you can click it, and that'll highlight that image in the DOM over there. So you can kind of go either way, whatever's easier for you at the time. So yeah, I think those are before we get too deep into the Elements panel, that's kind of the intro I wanted to give. One other thing I wanted to talk about is a lot of times doing responsive design, you want to see how your page looks like on mobile or something like that. And you may have noticed that Chrome and a lot of default browsers have this kind of minimum width that they need. I think it's to keep, the tab and everything looking nice. So you can't really get down to that like 300 or 400 pixel size that you need. So a really cool thing you can do with DevTools is, let's go ahead and pin them to the side over here. And when they're pinned to the side, now you can keep Chrome full width, but you can go ahead and drag this as far as you need. The thing to keep in mind, you can see my site breaks, is you want to find like a minimum mobile width, because mobile browsers just aren't going to be smaller than, I don't know, like maybe like 370 pixels or something like that. So your site doesn't need to be perfect all the way down to whatever, like 250 pixels. But it is a cool tool for kind of checking out how your site looks at different sizes.